Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Y'all already know how we get down on this mug, man. It's a Friday. It is a relaxing day. It's just me and the super producer in the stew out here, man.
What's
super
happening?
Producer Joel Holt in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Got to get used to running these cameras again.
Yeah,
forgot about that immediately. I came up with a great idea and instantly forgot about it. Hey, on today's show, got a lot on the docket, but kind of a relaxed show, longer form topics, right? Where got to talk about Caleb Williams. Finally got the opportunity to talk today. What did we hear from him? What did we learn about him from the combine? Is everybody upset about this medicals thing? Is that really a thing that people are mad about right now? We got to talk about that. And then, of course,
we got to talk about that one. Okay.
Hey, listen,
okay.
We mad about medicals out here, John?
Is we gonna talk? Okay, that's going in my list.
Oh boy, here we go. And then of course, listen. I feel like we've been very open on both sides of, okay, we want Justin to be here, but if he isn't here, we got to look at it this way. If Caleb isn't the pick, we got to look at it this way. Today, we want to look at it as if, let's say the Bears do take Caleb. It feels like it's starting to lean that way. What is this team going to look like around Caleb? How are the Bears going to build the best product that they can with Caleb Williams on the team? And I mean, listen, if that's the route they go, we're trying to get to a Super Bowl with whoever's behind center. Can he be the one to lead us there? Got to talk about that. And then the Friday free-for-all, always a fun time, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. What's going on, my boy? How you feeling today, man?
And it's Friday, man. You know, still coming off of that vacation. So really next week is when, go back to work. But so far, it looks like the weather is actually starting to pick back up because I guess we missed it when we left. It was 70 degrees.
Yes, you called me and you were like, you said, yeah, bro, trying to rub it in low key, like, oh, it's 85 out here.
77.
I'm on the beach.
Yeah,
I'm chilling. And I was like, yeah, it's 77 here too. And you was like, yeah, all right. And I was like, no, legit, it's 77 degrees right now.
I was like, no, you wouldn't. Oh, you would lie.
He was so mad, dog. But listen, let's jump straight into this, man. The Caleb Williams interview ended up. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. What are we sipping on tonight? What we sipping on tonight?
Sipping on?
A little something sip? A little sipping on something?
We can, bro.
Can I sit?
Not scissor. No.
That was high school. That was a long time ago. That
takes people out. And I ain't doing all that.
I mean, listen, you got to know the right amount to drink. You can't sit here and just be down it. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Depends on the time of day.
Don't worry about it. Caleb Williams speaking today. At the podium, first time really getting an opportunity to hear him address the media himself, and they did not waste any time going after him. Now, I don't know who asked the question. I got the question that was asked because is it too much to ask to get some microphones in there for the reporters so that we can hear what they like? The NBA does this. I guess too much to ask for the Chicago Bears to actually, or not Chicago, for the NFL to have reporters out there. But the Caleb Williams, before he can even finish his question, is literally walking out. He goes, hello, everybody. Good morning. How are y'all? Caleb, are you afraid to compete? And how do you respond to people saying that you're worried to be compared side by side to your peers in medicals, measurements, and workouts? Are you afraid to be measured against those guys one-on-one? Is that why you're not doing these things? Dang, dog!
Yeah, they came in hard. I don't understand the level. I feel like it's a little bit of just disrespect with him, period, because like we said, it's been lying season to a degree. So all these narratives have been fed to everybody over these last few months. And then when you see him, because my takeaway from him, I thought he was actually very personable of a person, and I think he handled that pretty well. So it's like the knock on him, it's like the undue praise. I did say he deserves the respect of being a Heisman winner. My issue was they're lauding him to be this way, but then you're creating this narrative where it's like you're looking for a reason to pick him apart. And he's still a kid, and because he's making money and he's confident, and there seems to be a problem that he has confidence.
Yeah. And I think here's my thing with it, right? Like when first off they come out hard at him, he handles the question well. If you're gonna talk about anything from the whole situation,
hold on. We already got 100 in the chat.
Over 100 in the chat. Appreciate
5
that
minutes,
y'all.
in.
Appreciate that love.
Yeah, actually, we didn't even shout out Breeze Nation, man. What's going on here, Breeze Nation? We got SWAT was in here first, and Daniel Berry Sports. my man JC was happening. We got Bagman Yo,
Ron
Joe.
Holt in the building. Ron
Holt's in the building.
Shout out to Ron Holt.
Shout out to Ron Holt.
For not look at the color matching on these cameras.
Yes.
Five,
shout
one,
out
two,
to my dad,
five,
Berlissimo.
three. Oh,
and then we got our first super chat by Kevin Bryant.
Kevin Bryant with the super chat. Caleb O'Shea Jackson Williams is not ready for Chicago. He don't even got a lightning trade to pick. Draft him, O'Shea, and get a QB next draft.
What do you do to y'all, man?
Hey, that's so Chicago, though. That's what you better be ready for, dog. You ain't got no lining, bro. You couldn't get a cut for this, dog. Like, you better be fresh at that.
I think that's this generation, though. Y'all don't believe in 360 waves no more. It's all everyone wants to look like. What's that artist that Jay-Z's mimicking? I can't. Basquiat. Yeah, Basquiat.
Oh, Basquiat.
You know, it's that like everything is
Hey, listen,
spongy hair.
I say this. This is what's funny. Gilbert Arenas said this. He said, if you got time to worry about waves, you're probably not one of the best players in the NBA. Think about all the good players. They don't brush their hair.
Nobody brushes their hair now. It doesn't matter.
Thinking about it, it was like LeBron don't got to brush his hair because his is implanted in.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Durant don't brush his hair.
That's he wants to though. He wants to.
Hey, that'll start a fire. Let's not even go down that path. Yeah, like when he said that though, I was like, I never thought about that. Like, you really don't see them mugs like tapered up, fresh to go, winning championships. When Stephen Curry won, afro, weird beard. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, the culture's changed. That's all that is. But this culture, I mean, look, they came here he knows he's the number one pick. And, they try to pick at him a little bit. Do you think that you may not be the number one pick?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I've been hearing it the whole time for 2 years now. So,
yeah.
But again, there's another Heisman quarterback.
There's always another option. No, I thought it was interesting. I even loved how he handled it, right? He said no to that first question. That, listen, to me, I don't know if y'all are like me, but I translate everything into like if somebody just yelled it at you in the hood. So literally, like I heard that question, it was like, Caleb, are you afraid to compete? You a beat. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dang, like, whoa. Like, stop being a hoe. Bow. What? Hey, that's how it translated to me anyway. But he said, no, not doing things. It was a decision by me and my team, my family, and it comes down to that. And moved on to the rest of the question. He's not sitting there entertaining the things that people are trying to turn into narratives. And he's not sitting there being flustered by the fake narratives that people are trying to create around him. He understands what he is. He understands who he is. And I think that even goes to the medical side of things when you heard Caleb talk about the medicals, right?
Yeah.
And no player's ever done this before. Oh, my God. Yeah. Nobody's ever not done the medicals at Combine. He said, everybody can't draft me.
Right.
The teams that can draft me, the teams that want to try and draft me, the teams that are interviewing me, they will get my medical.
It's three, maybe four. I'm not coming down to 28 and 29 to talk to you. No, sorry, Pittsburgh. Sorry, no, not doing it. So there was a question they asked him about did you think there's a plan B? And he's like, look, plan A is the plan. And if I can do it, then everything is to try to get plan A to work, but it's like, everything is always about second guessing the fact that, I feel like shame on you for being confident. Shame on you for putting in that hard work, because he has put in the hard work to a degree to get to this point. You don't become the number one pick or consensus or potential number one pick by accident. You had to put in that work. So I thought he handled himself well. It was like a big barrage of questions for him. What he did, about 14 minutes up there.
Yeah, about 13, 14 minutes. Yeah. Didn't shy away from any questions. Literally didn't run away from anything. I don't think he gave too much coach speak. Like, there's a certain part where guys are coached up to say certain things.
Yeah.
That didn't feel like this interview today. The first one, the Peter Thamel article, felt like he was coached up to say it. He was like, I've been watching Michael Jordan, Walter Payton, and enjoying deep dish pizza. It was like, okay, dog. Like, okay, thanks for hitting all the things that pop up on the Chicago bean.
But you know what, though? To be fair, that's what people that don't come from Chicago all do. Because that's all you do. The tourists come to Chicago. What are they going to do?
They going to go see Jordan. They're going to go see the Michael Jordan statue.
Peyton and whatever. But they go real people like my son right now, Derrick Rose. He's like, he always talks about, he loved Derrick Rose. Of course,
who doesn't love Derrick Rose?
I'm saying, but like when you're from here and the ilk of Chicago, I know. Do I have any? I don't have.
My old friend.
Yeah, I don't have. I got to make a new one for that one too.
I come to talk with you again.
Poor Derrick Rose.
That one. We was talking about Derrick Rose today and how as a second-year player, he really believed he could beat the championship Celtics by himself.
He couldn't
And
have. The other guys,
no, they was in the playoff series, and KG was talking about it, and he was like, and he almost did. Like, he almost beat
if he had one, he needed that. If he had Jimmy, if he hit a healthy Jimmy some years back, he wasn't ready in the league. We needed a 2-guard. If
Jimmy wasn't even there yet.
No, I know he wasn't. They needed a 2-guard, but yeah, the thing is just in terms of the culture of Chicago, everybody that comes from out of town, that's just like me going to New York and I got a Nathan's hot dog, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
It's a hot dog.
It was a hot dog on a bun. Like, where's all the stuff? Where's the Chicago style stuff? Give me the pickles and the this and that. Give me everything. Nothing. It was just a toasted bun and a dog. But that's what's been promoted when you go out.
So you're not putting nothing on that. You just raw glizzy.
No, that's what they gave it to you. No, don't do that. No. You said that. You said.
Oh, that's a flag.
You said that.
I asked the question.
No, you went.
You said it was a hot dog on a bun.
You went glizzy.
I said, are they raw glizzy?
You went raw. No.
That's a flag.
No.
I feel like that's not a flag. That was an honest question.
No, you went there.
That was an honest question.
That's what they serve you.
That will not be the last time we hear about glizzies on this show. By the way, I can't wait for the Friday free for all.
Thank you. The chat, the nation's with me.
2 flags.
Yeah, the nation's with me. Thank you. I was like, what are you? No, you ain't gonna do that. That's what they serve you. But my point is just that he's gonna say that about Chicago because that's probably what is known from everybody else that comes and visits Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, unless he's got family here and they're gonna hang out, he would say something different. But that's kind of the political answer you're gonna say when you visit Chicago.
I hear it. It's just one
Jordan
of those
with
things.
That critic scene bad. I saw what he said earlier. I'm like, it ain't ready yet.
I hear it. It's one of those things to me where it's like that felt coached. That felt like you were making it up on the fly. That felt like the answer you're supposed to give.
See, okay, Smitty Q, I was saying the same thing earlier before the show about when I listened to Caleb, I did feel he was a more personable person. Like, this is not a knock on Justin. I like Justin. But
I feel like it's a knock on Justin.
No, it's not. But his thing was he was a person never heard Justin speak that way. Like, personality-wise, Justin's a little more monotone, a little more reserved. He's just a more reserved guy. He, to me, was able – I think Justin could handle the media, but the way that Caleb handled it, you know, he has a little more charisma, in my opinion, a little more charm. So it was like, if he was to be our quarterback, I wouldn't feel embarrassed having him get up there and speak in front, because it's like the knock was that he's not a leader. The knock is he's not this or that, not that. And one of the first things he said, I take care of my guys. He said, whether from the starters all the way down to the fourth string.
I had to start going through and trying to find out like what he was actually doing with his money. Like, because he's getting banked. You know what I mean? Like, he's getting bread out here. So I was like, what's he doing with the cash? Like, what's he spent? It's like all spent on, like, his teammates have never bought anything.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, in college, you still got to like pay for food and stuff. Like, his teammates don't buy food. He does a bunch in the community. He takes care of his team. Like,
he's a millionaire already.
As far as the leader aspect of it, I don't know whether he's a leader or not. From what I can tell, he looks like he's a guy that's at the head of the classroom and is always telling people, you know, what to do. I don't know the ins and outs. We had Greg Gabriel on yesterday. Greg Gabriel clearly does not believe that he is a leader and feels like from the things that he's heard, he wasn't a good leader. I have no idea. I've never spent 15 minutes with Caleb.
Right.
What I will say is this, though. He's doing the things that I would expect a leader to do. And maybe he's all of this is just playing the cards to get the number one pick, but like he's doing the things that you would want to see a young man do, minus speaking at the podium and crying in his mom's arms.
Buying his teammates Nikes. It's is it leading?
I mean, listen, like
I will say, can you hear me?
As far as leadership,
yeah. What's up, kid?
What's going on?
What do you want to see as far as leadership from? What's good, kid? Like, what do we want to see? Do we want to see like him sitting there, going out there and winning games with his team? He done that. Do we want to see him like? I guess like what is this leadership that people are measuring? Because Justin exudes leadership. I haven't heard the teammates come out. Everybody's got all these stories about why he's a bad leader. Which teammate said it?
No teammate said it.
Which coach said
I'm not even going down that path. I'm just saying we don't really hear him talk that much my observations or commentary of just his press conference, I didn't come away negative about him. Now, whether he's a leader or not, I don't have that information that can say that. So, why people are running. But the problem is, how do we know what people are saying? Because so much is being built up around him of what's being said. He didn't want to come to Chicago. His camp said this. No, he didn't. Now he's backtracking. And then we don't know that. But sometimes the eye test, sometimes the Q test, the Q rating of a person, like they said, like certain people can win the press conference, right? Yeah. Like Eberflus did not win the press conference, and he never does to me.
Hey, listen, he did that first press conference this year, but he came out with the fresh fade, little beard out.
Oh, you mean Flus that gets lined up on 35th? Yeah, he won a press conference.
Eber swag, bro.
Yeah. That's the crazy part about it. Literally, it's just about how you look. Flus came out last year looking like, hey, we can do it. We can get the job done, guys. Don't you worry about it. Hold on, I think I got the picture on here. I think I put that mug up on Twitter. It low-key went viral. Hold on, is this here it is. It is right here. You see that right there? I believe we're on the right path. Man, y'all know how we get down.
We get down.
Y'all know how we get down. Stop playing with us.
If I could add this real quick, and I wanted to type into what Joe was speaking of, and what everybody in the chat is speaking of, when they throw around this word leader, this is a kid. This is a young man who's still he's still learning himself and things of that nature. You're not going to have that perfect scenario, but everyone, because he is so highly touted, highly rated, and the reputation is already out there, people are trying to find ways to diminish it. And that's what happens. We are in that coveted position of being the guy. When you're the guy, everyone tries to attack you in some way, shape, or form. But like you said, no one has ever substantiated any of these things. Even Greg Gabriel, I love he came on the show. Would love to really go on his one day and really go back and forth with him. He seems to love that thing, but he hasn't substantiated anything that he said when it comes to him not being a good leader. It's just all opinion.
I think
it's all opinion. It's not nothing. I'm not going to say it's not fact-based, but you haven't proven your argument. And so the one thing I would say is it was a really good showing for a rookie for me in his position. He didn't sit there and hold his tongue. Like you all said, it's the most personable interview I've seen so far. And it's a double-edged sword. He could probably speak too much on a podium.
I think here's the flip side of that as well, though. Here's the part you got to talk about on the other side of that. Let's see how well he talks after talking to Chicago media for a year.
Oh, pause real quick.
Let's see. Over 200 in the chat. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Wait, everybody.
Shout out to Breeze Nation.
We got to get you dig that we can put on OBS where it's just like people running around going crazy and chaos. Oh my God, 200 in the chat. Let's see how he talks after. Like, this is great. He's talking right now where he's the king of the court. Let's see how well you talk when you say something regular and the Chicago media eats it alive. Let's see how well you talk when you try to be honest with the media and they flip your words in a way that they felt like it sounded, right? Like that's the thing. Like, yes, he sounded poised at the press conference, but I heard Justin Fields talk confidently before he went to the draft. I heard Justin Fields talk confidently in his first press conferences here. I heard Justin Fields talk confidently on the way out the door if he does end up leaving. Like what?
That just excused the man already.
Well, because in his last press conference, he literally said, if this is my last time standing up here with y'all, it's been fun. I hope to see y'all again.
I think so. Like, that's what I'm saying. We're separating, like, before, like, I see some of the chat where it's like, okay, let's separate the leader thing. Let's separate all that. We're just talking about the person as a man in terms of, like, he had a decent interview. I thought he came across well.
He didn't do nothing wrong.
He didn't.
That's all it said to me. So, but he didn't do nothing wrong.
Because what was being perceived or the scrutiny that he gets is more about, like, is he, all these things are going to somehow translate. Now, my point was he didn't come across bad. I didn't say we got drafted number 1 based off his interview, but just to see the personalities of some of these guys, it's nice to see that. I think he could handle the media. I think he could speak well. I think that, based off if he is a former Heisman winner, if we were to get him, I mean, first of all, what would happen if we get him? Are we gonna boo this dude?
I don't think anybody's gonna boo him.
But I feel like
it's not gonna be like me eating a super donut.
Yeah, but some people have a feeling like he's not this, all this. But if we end up getting him, and if he wins, and if he does well, okay, then what?
Here's the thing: you're gonna have to win over Chicago. Justin won over Chicago.
He did.
Justin, like, you can tell from that game in the stadium more fans than not want Justin Fields to be the quarterback here. I think a lot of fans hear what is happening, but that stadium was full of people chanting, "We want Fields."
Yeah.
He
And you know
won
why?
over the city.
And you know why?
So guess what? You're the next guy that comes in. You got to win over the city. Guess what? You know who else got to do that right now? There's a coach in New England that's got to win over an entire East Coast because he got to take over for the greatest coach of all time.
Well, he's not. So that's the next. They're done.
Well, but see, that's the thing, right? Like that mindset is exactly how Bears fans are probably going to come in with Caleb Williams in the beginning. Are they going to give him a chance? Yeah. Well, but is he going to hear it when he messes up? Yes.
So the point is that because Justin became loved, right? That's the issue. Now, if it was some scrub quarterback that we couldn't wait to get rid of him because it divided the city.
You didn't have this conversation with Mitch. Like there was a
exactly.
I feel like it was a flip of what's happened with Justin, where Mitch left under better stats, better numbers, but everybody felt like this dude isn't a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Justin would be leaving under worse stats, worse numbers, but everybody feels like, well, the Bears have really failed this dude.
Yes.
And we feel like there's more. We don't want to get rid of
But
him.
Mitch was a sacrificial lamb of the same type of situation of like,
well, they all got sacrificed in that.
Yeah. the structure that's not like you can see the Bears actually trying to put a structure in place now with what Pace is doing. I mean, what Poles is doing with, the people that they're bringing in, even the coordinator. You got an assistant GM. We got just a better infrastructure. So whoever we get, whether it's Caleb, if it's Jaden, if they keep Fields, either way, it is what it is. And if we start winning games, like this
winning cures all. That man comes out. Hey, all Caleb has to do is get a lineup real quick. First of all, he has to get a lineup, some hair product, and win some games. Hey, my man was out there like, dog, you're a millionaire, and this is probably the first time the city is actually paying attention to you. Line it up, dog. We got 1,001 barbers here. Line it up. We got to you got to wear the hat. We'll line it up. Anyway. You gotta win. You gotta line it up. I'm sorry. Look at him behind you. That man look homeless.
Bro, I think
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing though, and this is the tough part.
Bad homeless.
Hey, this is the tough part that most Chicago fans don't want to talk about or admit, right? In a for lack of a better term, we are all trollops. If he come out there and he throw 4 touchdowns the first game, we going right.
That's what I'm saying.
like winning over Chicago is play well. Do the things that I expect you to do. We're trollops as fans. We're all trollops. The next best thing. All of a sudden, Justin came in and was successful in situations that it felt like Mitch would not be able to succeed in. We saw him fail in, but the numbers don't add up. But he was successful in those tough situations, those broken situations. You feel like you got a chance, and so Chicago loves him for that. But realistically speaking, if a quarterback walks in the door and he puts up the first game 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, we all gonna be like, well, wait a minute now, this Caleb guy can play. Hold on.
He can play. They were right. We don't know, but I feel like I guess this goes into the next topic, doesn't it?
Yeah, in theory, we do have to talk about. Well, not in theory. Well, I guess it is still in theory. It's not a done deal. Yeah, we got to talk about what the Chicago Bears would look like if they were to draft Caleb Williams. Is he a match for Chicago? We'll talk about that right after we hear from our sponsors over at Aura. Appreciate you guys for tuning in the show and love you. Haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. It's the Windy City Breeze. Stop playing with us. We'll be right back. Oh, God. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Hey, I might have to just do a song over that instrumental, bro. I might have to do a song over that one, bro.
I appreciate.
Well, sitting here, everybody just the instrumental go crazy. Wait a minute, dog. Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Got your boy Pat the Designer, joined by the super producer Joel Holt and the pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid. Let's jump into the conversation on, is Caleb actually a match for Chicago? We've done how can you build this team up? How can you do this? How do you make this team fit perfectly if you are to draft Caleb Williams? What moves do you make in the draft? We're assuming, right? I would say that we're trading Justin to Atlanta in this situation, so you get that 42nd overall pick. So you have that. What are you doing in free agency? Where are you starting at here? You got the 9th pick next. Where are you starting at with Caleb, Joel?
The problem is if we take Caleb, we're kind of just stuck. So now we just have another quarterback, and we haven't addressed the rest of the team yet. So at 9, maybe the best defensive end available, or I don't think Alt's there. So, and I don't know about Fashanu. So it's either Jared Verse or, the best defensive player on the board. That's what I would prefer. Really not even, because I'm fine if we fix that the tackle, the linebacker spot. And if it sounds like we're keeping the defensive tackles, Jervon and Pickens, that just leaves the defensive end. So I would prefer, if it's the highest rated defensive player, I'm going at for 9. Now, what I would prefer is that if we were trade down with that number 1 pick up some extra ones. I would prefer, if we have to move from Fields, we get some of those extra picks to maybe move up in the end of the first round to get the center, because they're not going to take a center at 9.
No,
and unless they move down.
I mean,
at 9, that's really high.
It's really high. But if you believe,
that's a record high.
If you believe, no, it's not a record.
That is a record. A center's never been taken that high. 18th, I think, is the highest.
There's never been a center taking top 10.
No. The 18th is I looked it up. The 18th
I looked it up too. It's never
is the highest. I think 17, 18.
You look up. Hold on. Was there a guard that was taken and played center?
I mean,
was there a guard taken that high and played center?
Hey, shout out to the super chat real quick. Just want to read this out real quick. Why we just get the real game changer in MHJ built with Justin? Because to me, the defense lost 3 games: Detroit, Cleveland, and Denver. I appreciate you supporting, Christopher. Really do. Just want to make sure you got your we read shout at you out real quick. Because we're moving on, dog. That's why. That's what it seems like. I mean,
the problem is,
this is just a different side of the conversation. You got to have both sides of the conversation.
The whole point is, if we end up keeping Caleb, like keeping Justin, and you trade down, gives you more picks to get more players. We need more talent. If we have Caleb, we're pretty much pigeonholed that we got a new quarterback that might be able to possibly, depending on his talent, maybe he's a slightly better passer than Fields come out the gate. So at 9, the defense, everybody's like Roma Dunze at 9 or something like that. To me, I'd rather make the defense as strong as possible, because we didn't do anything by taking him number 1, fix anything.
See, I think here's my
Dallas Turner?
No.
Is that you thinking Dallas Turner?
I got it. No, I got it. No, we'd have to go with free agency and fix. I would then sign a defensive end. So then maybe you do take a receiver at 9.
And see, that's my thing. My first 3 picks, if I go Caleb Williams,
Offense.
are probably offensive, depending on what ends up falling, right? I mean, if I can get like a Jared Verse or I can get a Dallas Turner at 9, that's best player available. You got to do that.
Yeah, best
like to
player
me,
at 9.
to me, there you got to do it. But if they're not there, I'm going all offense. I probably would try to move back, see if I can get a couple of second-round picks and try and get Jackson Powers in there, or see if I can get that late first-round pick, and I'm taking Jackson Powers because the belief is that he's going to be a generational, if that's the word everybody want to use on these bugs. He's going to be an exceptional center for 10+ years in the NFL. And right now, all you can go off of is the belief that you have. And I see this young man, and listen, if he does get past Harbaugh, who I think might go trade back and try to do the same thing, because not to say you don't need a receiver, but like it's a very receiver deep draft. I can find somebody that maybe is a little bit lower of a receiver, or I mean, realistically,
but there's
who's the young man? What's his name? Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice. You can get in the 2nd or 3rd round and pair him up with Herbert. Like,
my problem is when you're picking receivers that late. Like, the whole point is we want some starters. There's some development that has to get done.
Devontae Adams was picked in the 2nd round.
But when did he really snap off? Though? You talking about
first year?
Devontae from Green Bay?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Like
multiple, you want a foot-long cookie?
Multiple wide receivers have been taken in the 2nd,
my point
3rd,
out. Can I get my point out? My point is that a lot of times there's development when you're picking a little bit later. I'm saying the production, you might be able to get somebody out of the
police just start coming through.
You might be able to get somebody out of free agency. And in terms of impact, I'm talking about impact from day one. Yeah, it's a gamble. I mean, if we can get a 2nd round pick receiver that can do his thing. Was Pickens from the Steelers?
George Pickens.
He was a 2nd rounder.
2nd round pick, yep.
I mean, okay, then I stand corrected. But I just feel like what I want is production day one. And if you have a greater opportunity to get maybe like a safety or the center or someone else that can come in right out the bat. So
that's why I said, and shout out to the super chat. DJ Spawn said, can Caleb handle the pressure of Chicago Green Bay rivalry? No clue. We'll see. I have no idea.
Why wouldn't he?
I
mean,
I don't know
if he likes to win. I mean,
those are questions that, like, to me, you're not gonna answer until you see it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it takes more than one game.
If we're being real, has Justin handled it?
Well, we didn't win.
And I'm a Justin guy.
And we didn't win.
we looked very ill prepared in both of the Packers-Bears rivalry games this year.
Don't get me started. Ooh, that was such a
I mean, like, so let's not throw stones at glass houses.
You know what's funny? I thought about this. So do you realize in the Bears history, like, everybody wants a quarterback and receiver, and they have historically bombed in the 1st round, and in one round in 1 year, talking about a quarterback and a receiver, and we bombed and getting receivers in the 1st round in a long time. Because I just saw Kevin White. Like, Kevin White was the first pick for Pace.
Yeah.
Just a bust.
Yeah.
Like, we have not. That's been.
But
very hard
Kevin White was never talked about it. That was a surprise pick for everybody. It was like,
no, he had love.
He was nice, but he was coming off of injury. Like Muggs,
he was a giant. He was a freak of nature receiver. He was 6 foot whatever, ran a 4 whatever. He was supposed to be like
and he was coming off of injury.
Well, that's Pace's problem. I mean,
exactly. No, that's the point.
Want, actually, who I wanted was Gurley. I think that
you took a guy that high that was coming off injury. Like I'm also I
Mitch
love
beat the Packers.
The one thing
Mitch did beat the Packers. Mitch did beat the Packers.
1-6, baby. 1-6. Hey, he lost that game when he told everybody shut up in Lambeau.
Jay Crit, what up?
But no, I think that, right, if you're building this team out, you have to decide which side you're going to spend money on. The funny part about it is we've kind of already decided that, because you got to pay Jalen Johnson. You already paid Montez Sweat. Keep spending money on the defensive side. Look at what the Chiefs have done. They flip-flopped where they're spending their big money at for the most part, right? You let Tyreek Hill walk. You kind of have to rebuild that offense now. You let Orlando Brown Jr. walk,
right?
Right, like pieces on the offense. But now I'm paying guys on my defense. I got to pay Chris Jones. I've got it right. Like, what's the DB over there? I can't think of his name right now.
I don't remember.
Oh, you suck.
Thanks. No problem.
Like there's multiple, like you almost have to decide which side you want to invest financially in heavily and which side you want to go young at heavily. Right now, the Bears have a good mix of young, but more so financials on the defensive side.
Snead was the DB. Jason?
Snead, yes, Snead. Shout out to y'all. But on the offensive side, right? Like you got to spend your money. You got to spend your draft capital on the offensive side right now because you're trying to build that up for the long term.
Again, it comes down to your scheme and the right players to execute that scheme. So, receivers in an offense, you can tweak that, right? Because they always had the tight end. You need a couple of guys to catch. Defense, you got to spend on the defensive line. You got to spend on the offensive line. That's where everything is the one in the trenches. So for the Bears, either to me, immediate results would be maybe you do sign a defensive end coming off. I wouldn't go for Danielle Hunter, more so maybe Brian Burns because he's younger and we can have him a little bit longer.
I love a good Brian Burns.
And so
I like Danielle Hunter too, though. I ain't gonna lie. Danielle Hunter a dog too.
Yeah, but he's like almost 30, which is not necessarily wrong, but then his experience. He'll be 30. He'll be 30 this year. But so now that means you have the flexibility. And like, again, with free agency, you can afford with that cap, with the amount of cap that you have, you might be able to get definitely if you want to spend on 2 players and then a lot of mid guys, or maybe even 3 with this new cap number, and then you just draft the rest. Because I still don't know if I see a safety to replace Bojack.
Probably draft him.
So we have to draft the safety.
I mean, you're gonna go some DB here. I think that's the main thing.
But
right?
hey,
we know you're gonna go DB.
I'm being honest with you.
You're always in on DBs.
Hey, I saw that North Carolina that linebacker, that joker ran like a 4.4 or 4 something.
Yeah,
he had like 100 tackles or something like that. Like they were comparing him to Luke Kuechly, and he was like the 4th best linebacker after the Alabama guy. Like I would love to like get a diamond in the rough kind of deal, or like a steal in the 2nd, 3rd round like that. That would be great. Because
I think I'll add to this. One is if Caleb is a match realistically.
In the 2nd and 3rd round, you're supposed to get true starters.
I can't even hear Pat. What did Pat say?
What did Pat say?
I said in the 2nd and 3rd round, yes, you're supposed to be getting true starters. Like
absolutely.
Like you shouldn't. It's not until you get to the 4th and 5th round where you're like, these are our depth guys. Like your first 3 rounds, you should be getting guys that can start.
Yes,
and that's why honestly, looking at
starters in the 2nd and 3rd round,
looking at what you just said, Poles had drafted really his receivers in those later rounds, and really that was my biggest gripe against him. He didn't really give Justin help in drafting that. So I honestly feel like if we're going to, you say, who do we get around him? You have to go offense for that reason and that reason alone. And even if you are going a little further back, let's say we go back 3rd round, like you said, Brendan Rice. There's another kid that was on his team that did over 1,000 yards. What's that kid's name? Was it Taj? Taj Washington? Yeah, I think it's Taj Washington. He reminds me like Mooney a little bit, and we don't even know what's happening with Mooney. And I think just having that familiarity with another receiver would just give Caleb a lot more. We already have a good tight end, so that helps a rookie quarterback. I just think Poles has to go offense realistically because of that. Not necessarily, we don't necessarily have to have Neighbors if you want to pick up Joe Alt, or if you want to take up the concept of going edge and getting Dallas Turner, who's projected around 8 or 9. I could see that, but really using that potential 2nd or 3rd round pick to probably get some of the people that he's more familiar with to get a hot start, I think that would be really good to really just put him in the best situation to succeed early.
We need that. We need the O-line fixed regardless.
You do.
I
think that's something you have to address in the draft, because, and I keep saying this, like, look at everybody that went last year. The names that we were screaming, the Bears got to get this guy. You got to come away with Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah,
he was horrible last year. Joe Burrow has no leg.
Yeah, he got no calf.
Mike McGlinchey, dog water.
Well, I mean,
Coda drinks him every day. Yeah, I mean, like there's.
Well, it's overpaying. Are they got to a point where they hit the market. Clearly they were good enough to a certain degree. Maybe it's a fit, maybe it doesn't fit for where they went to, because again, Orlando Brown, for example, the issue was that he went to the wrong, he's not the type of passer that they thought he was. He's stronger in certain areas. So the whole thing is for us, we don't want to overpay for talent that comes in here, and if they don't fit, because now you're just desperate. I just need a tackle.
But I think here's the thing: how often do you see somebody just get let go? How often do you see, like, that's what happened with McGlinchey and with Orlando Brown and guys like that? Like the guys that are on the market this year that are possibly out there, right? They're more so guys that teams were like, we're okay with you leaving.
I wouldn't. Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't.
It's not like overpaying. No. Like, it's different if it's like we went through a contract dispute all year. We couldn't come to an agreement because you want too much money,
right?
And so we're gonna let you go because of that.
Well, I mean, like,
it's another year of like. You got the guys that you're either overpaying for the talent that they somewhat have, or on the flip side of that, like Connor Williams is a name that's out there from Miami. I love Connor Williams. I think he's a really good player, young player, 26 years old. He's coming off an ACL tear. You know what I do know about these big dudes when they get hurt? They don't stop getting hurt.
No,
they continue to be injury prone. They like, very rarely do you see one of these big dudes go through an injury and then all of a sudden magically, as he's in a car accident every single week, 76 plays a game, he's just fine. He's cured. He's back. Like, so I don't want to go heavy free agency for long-term pieces on the offensive line.
I got it. How about we do it this way? If anything, because there are some people you can get from free agency, but if you take Williams, you're sitting there at 9, then I suggest if we are able to trade up to get Holt, and then we have to trade back to a point.
You were giving up what?
Maybe the 2020. Yeah,
giving up one of your.
I don't know what they got to give up. Let's just say the focus is we got a quarterback, and we fix the left tackle and get the center out of this draft. We can sign the defensive end, and we only need a safety and a receiver. We can get those 3 in free agency.
Yeah, but who?
Can we highlight the fact that this draft is really loaded? Like, loaded from the sense of not just one position, but there's several positions where you can like feel comfortable drafting at between 1 to 4, and like you could get a good center in round 3.
Well,
there's a lot of centers projected in round 3, and we got 2. I think we got 2 third-round picks. Like, we could really fill in all these so-called holes, which, by the way, there's no perfect team, and the perfect team rarely wins. I just want people to understand that. The perfect team didn't. The 2 perfect teams that should have won.
San Francisco was the perfect team. They did not win.
But Dallas was supposed to be the perfect team.
They got there. Dallas was not the perfect team. I don't care. That was just people believing.
Hey, Miami was supposed to be a perfect team.
To the Super Bowl. You ain't watched Dallas over the last 50 years. That's all that is.
My problem is this is based off if we just draft Caleb and we don't have any flexibility outside of just going the number 1 pick. And so now we still have needs because we still don't address the line if 2 of the top guys aren't there at 9.
Well, that's why I said you've got to. I think here's the thing, and here's what's going to be tough. You have to look at the teams that are at the bottom of the draft, at the bottom of the first round, and say, okay, who's willing to trade back?
Mm-hmm.
And they got to be in that 15 to 20 range for you to get Jackson Powers Johnson. That's why, right? Like, here's the one thing nobody ever says.
No, they got to trade up.
No, the Bears. If the Bears want to trade up, somebody's got to want to trade back.
Well, that could happen.
That can happen. Who wants to trade back?
It could be Kansas City for something. To get
he's not going to fall to 32.
Who we talking about?
He's going to go in probably the 15 to 20 range.
Okay,
yeah, he's 15 to 20 range player.
Then, or you got to take him at 9, and then you just
talking about.
And that's
crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Which crazy. We're going to look at it. We're going to be like, oh my God, this is a D draft. And unless he has a 10 place, nobody has ever looked back at players taken high in the draft and go, what a miss when he's an All Pro and he's going to the Hall of Fame. Like, nobody does that. That's why it's always like no one's ever taken a center that high. Okay, is he a 10-year fix at that position? Is he at least projected to be
that? But the problem, you know why? Is because it's also slated on that contract. The contracts are slated to a certain point.
Yeah, so centers get big money.
Well, if
big-ish money. They're not getting left.
If he doesn't, cool. But that's the point.
Yeah, you giving them left.
That rookie contract from number 1 is like $6 million, then it drops down to 5. So at 9, when you can get a guy at 15 or 20 or in the second round, now you're talking about a few $100,000 versus a guaranteed $1 million.
No, listen, I think Ryan will do all he can do to try and get the best value. I'm not saying he's going to have to take him at 9, but I'm just like, if he does have to take him at 9, I'm not losing my mind because we miss. No, we have our quarterback, hopefully, and our center, hopefully, of the future.
And
like that I feel good about that if you did that in the first top 10 picks, because guess what? There are wide receivers out there. This is a deeper wide receiver draft. Heck, I would really love to see the Chicago Bears try and find a way to get Brendan Rice. Yeah. Brendan Rice's measurables are good. His speed is good. His catch radius is good. It's not great, but it's good. And he's already got a rapport with the quarterback that you're bringing in. You can get him in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
And actually, isn't that exactly what Courtney mentioned when she was she did one of those things with you? She actually mentioned trading back to get
draft, Powers. Yeah, she did trading back. I think she got
traded back to the 13th spot, still picked up Jackson Powers, and then ended up getting him in the 3rd round. Brendan Rice in the 3rd round. I think that was one of the things that she mentioned, and I thought that was a great idea. It solved all the hope.
Shout out Chicago Bears podcast. Tune in with me over there. Yep. So she literally did that, right? You get Caleb Williams first. Of course, you trade. I think she traded Justin Fields in it. I don't know who she traded. Oh, she traded the 9th pick. She got Jackson Powers Johnson 13. That's still high for a center.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't care. He's a starting center in the NFL. I don't care. And then she gets Brendan Rice in the 3rd round, and she goes with Kitchens in the 3rd round as well. We only did a 3-round mock there, but like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Your
she didn't trade Justin.
Question.
She didn't trade Justin in that, so that's still a potential second, or maybe another 3rd that you have to kind of fill in some gaps there.
Right.
She did that solely just based off what we have, and so like even with what we have, we can still make really good pickups and carry this team forward. We don't have to get the haul again. Like I'm really tired of hearing that phrase.
I'm never tired of hearing the haul. I would rather get the haul.
You're talking about depth and getting more time.
Yeah.
You can get the more players for the picks. It's definitely worth that. You're talking about transforming the team. I mean, this whole organization is transforming themselves. So if you're able to get that jump start or that injection of true talent that we need in the building for the city.
But I think this is also the thing you have to think about as well. What does a Pro Bowl center do for this lineup?
Everything.
Pairing it up with a possible Pro Bowl right tackle.
Everything.
Right. What does that do for Braxton Jones? What is that? Right. That allows you more room for error. What does adding another elite wide receiver to this? Like if I'm Caleb Williams, if you go Caleb Williams and you go Brendan Rice is a nice get for you or something like that, but you got to pay somebody on the offensive side. You got to find, is Mike Evans available? I'm going to get Mike Evans. Or is whoever, like you got to go out in free agency and do that. The job at this point, if you take Caleb Williams, is to find every single way you can to make his life easier. A quarterback easy system. I know people just think that is that's a sin, right? Like, oh, he's in a quarterback friendly system for him. No, that's what I want to build here. Like that, you do that by going out and getting as many weapons as possible. And I think you spend money at the wide receiver position. You draft one. You may have to do that either way unless you end up getting a Malik Neighbors or a Rome Odunze, but you spend money at the wide receiver position. You might have to live with Braxton Jones for another year. There's another draft coming. You might have to live with Braxton for another year. But did you get your all-pro center, Jackson Powers Johnson? When we had Brandon Thorne on, who does the trench warfare podcast, he said that he's a day one starter. I don't know if I believe that, but he evaluates offensive linemen a lot better than me.
Let's just say he is, to your point, and now you got a center. Hopefully he doesn't stress, the guard. Both guards, which doesn't overcompensate for right. No, who's that the right tackle?
Right tackle, Darnell Wright.
Right, and then So to your point, and then with an improved scheme, that makes a big difference because it's really hard to keep hiking the ball that keeps going over your head.
Yeah,
every time you're trying to get a playoff. So, I think to your point. So if we keep the picks, draft Caleb, take Jackson at 9. And then you trade Justin, and hopefully you're getting a 2nd round pick.
Hopefully.
So now it's best player available at this point because if you can get a safety, you fill in the gaps. Well, you're already signing free agents come March 11th or 13th.
Free agency is before the draft. Yeah.
Right.
So you're doing all
that.
So
you're already you're going to fill in whatever you don't get out of free agency is what you're going to pick up for depth of course, in the draft. Yeah. So after that tells you exactly who we're going to go after.
Yeah. No, it definitely makes the picture a lot clearer. Let's finish it out here, though, boys. Let's go into the Friday free-for-all. But first, we got to tell you guys all about Underdog Fantasy. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Got to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action. It's Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite or least favorite players' stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. They've got so many different styles of games that you can play, but the pick'em is the easiest game by far that you can go out there and make a play on. Last week, the Breeze account was able to go after, I think it was Kobe White over 15.5 points. DeMar DeRozan under 7 assists, and I want to say the final one was, who were we playing? That's a great question. Oh, it was Cade Cunningham over what was the over on Cade Cunningham? It was Cade Cunningham over 22 points. Yeah, that one hit. So that was really cool to see, and you get a little bit of scratch back on that. You can double up your money all season long. All you have to do is go to Underdog and keep it super simple with their easy-to-use website. Pick 2 to 5 players, fill out your entry, pick it right, take home some cold hard cash, and use the code TWCB to get your first deposit doubled up by $500. That is TWCB when you sign up, download the app, and get your first deposit doubled up by $500. All right. Let's get back to the show, boys. Let's get back to Joe. Just switched up the screen out there. It was random.
Well,
it looks better.
Paris was blocking that.
It was random.
Putting back on foul. There you go.
Foul. Well, listen, we're here now. Oh, now we're switching it all around.
Well, might as well. I mean,
there we go. Let's get into the Friday free for all, boys. The Friday free for all. We are free to talk about whatever we feel like, and let's have some fun with this one. Let's start it off here. As the Phillies are banning their dollar hot dog day. This is an interesting one because this is for more than a quarter of a century, Phillies fans consider the dollar hot dog night among one of the ballpark's best promotions, but the team has now decided it is one of the worst. They spelled worst, W-U-R-S-T. I could kill somebody for that. These dogs, the dog days of April, when Philly weather is cold and the wieners are a steal. I did not write this. Are going, gone. The Phillies officially ended the popular promotion Thursday and replaced dollar dogs on select dates with 2-for-1 deals at 2 April games at Citizen Bank Ballpark. But that is not why I bring up this story, ladies and gentlemen. I bring up this story because how they deliver the hot dogs to you on dollar hot dog. Now, on here. What's
yeah, I banned that too.
They've got a glizzy mobile. They're firing glizzies in between the 5th inning. This literally said underneath the picture, the Philly fanatic comes out with his hot dog launcher during the 5th inning of the baseball game between the Atlanta Braves and Philadelphia Phillies. My guy, what's happening here? Like, you throw it. See if you can throw this on the back screen here, Joel. I don't know if you got it over here or not. But if you can throw this on the back screen, but like, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen, dog. A glizzy launcher? Is that acceptable? Is there a flag on the glizzy launcher? I'm just saying, bro. Like, who came up with that idea? First off, here's the idea, right? Think about somebody pitching this. All right, boys, we're going to come up with a dollar hot dog day. All right, cool. Oh, dollar hot dog day. I love that. Great idea. We can get fans in here and they're going to buy hot dogs for $1. 100%, right? So what do? They go to the concession stands to get them? Nah. We fire them out of a life-sized hot dog.
Boom.
We shoot them out of a hot dog cannon. Some of the fans may catch the glizzies. Like, what are we talking about here, dog? Like, that is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. And there it is. Look at this here. Look at it. Hold on. We got to go full screen on this. So let's go back to the other one. Because you got to break this down here. So, like, first off, full glizzy here. Full glizzy here. This guy hates his life. This guy hates every bit of his day. They got him on the glizzy mobile. His wife got to see this. We got a helper on the mobile for the Philly Fanatics mascot here. And then, Take that for what you will. That is a hot dog with a hole at the end. You do with that what you will. This why Philadelphia, yeah. Hey, it's not a flag on me. Flag on the whole state of Philly, bro. Whole city of Philly. That's one of the wildest things I've ever seen in my life, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the picture, I was just like, that's crazy. Mike Davidson said they probably call them the Glizzy Boys. You know there's some dude in the stands trying to catch that with his teeth.
All right, we're just gonna get this.
Yeah, we gonna move past.
Matter of fact, hold on.
I don't have any flags here.
I'm sorry. Thanks, Pat. It just,
Let's end the show.
Just saying, dog. That's wild, bro. That's wild. How many wives opening up for that catch?
It's silly, man.
Nobody else had a problem with that. Nobody else saw issues with the Glizzy.
I wasn't looking it up, man.
Hey, look, I didn't look it up. It just showed up under sports section, which is even wild there. You got to be safe out there, dog.
Well,
no,
I'm gonna take you the scenic route. You ready? Forbes released an article a couple years ago that said that only 2/3 of American millennials believe the Earth is round. In fact, they said between the ages of 18 and 24, 66% of those adults believe that the Earth is indeed a sphere. What the heck does that have to do with us today, 6 years later? Well, apparently one of those people who was probably included in that report was Texas Tech's Tyler Owens, who said, paraphrasing, that he didn't believe in space and other planets, and said that flat earthers have some valid points. Now, despite the overwhelming evidence that space does exist and there are other planets, this young man on the biggest day of his life, with the opportunity to introduce himself to the world for what would be hopefully, a long-lasting career, said one of the dumbest things you could say. Good thing that we actually this is one of those moments where it's like, maybe you shouldn't have went to the combine.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you though. I'm not gonna lie to you though. Here's the part that's scary, right? It's a lot of dumb dudes that's good at football.
So, hey, listen.
So like, how good of a player we talking here? You know what I mean? Like,
hey,
you don't gotta be smart to be good at football all the time. You do at certain positions, but sometimes you just gotta go out there and hit somebody.
Yeah. Well, good thing that he's not a QB or something like that, because if a QB said that, we would have a problem.
Baki said Tyler Owens is now instantly a 7th pick overall. No, I told y'all, bro, it's really adults out here that just be like, question it. I'm all for a good conspiracy theory. I'm all for questioning, the way things are and stuff like that. But I had to do, when your wife take you on one of them double dates that you don't want to go on? Like, she's like, they basically take us on like a kid's excursion. They be like, well, she's got a husband and you're a husband, so y'all should get along well. Dude doesn't like sports. Doesn't watch sports. He's like, I don't have time to watch sports. Still thinks that like Derrick Rose is on the Bulls, right? He's one of those guys. We're sitting there having drinks. I've kind of made it through most of the night. We're enjoying ourselves. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought, but I'll probably never kick it with this dude again. But maybe if she did another date like this, I wouldn't be mad at it. Leans over to me mid-drink and goes, I'm still not convinced on this gravity thing. What? Bro, it got to be 45 years old, bro. It's got to be 45 years old.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go, homeboy.
Bro, really was sitting there questioning gravity. He was like, well, what proof do we have? Bro, I literally did this. Proven. He said, well, it's still the theory of gravity. I was like, that's called a law.
Steve-O said, isn't that how you and Kid met?
I was trying not to put Kid out there.
Oh, definitely.
Trying not to put Kid out there. But Kid does not believe in gravity, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, listen, stop that. Hey, listen, what goes up must come down. Gravity make that happen. All right, dog. Anyway, we're gonna end the show on that one because you already just said too much. Maya's never letting you out.
What you got on the Friday free for all?
So I was thinking, fellas, I'm getting older.
Oh God.
And
he found a gray ball.
He's getting a motorcycle.
No,
don't worry about it. I got it for myself.
No,
don't worry about it.
I haven't get it out yet. No, I was thinking about a challenge, man. Like between all of us, you, Pears, Breeze Nation, a Fit Club, getting in shape, man. Summer's coming in a few months, and I'm tired of looking at this weight room I built in my house, collecting dust.
Hey, Joe, how much of that weight you push?
I did some. It's just not consistent, but I'm trying to create a challenge. I want to create a challenge for everybody. Like, let's get in shape, man. We over here talking sports, man. You know, like I need to get in shape.
We're gonna be.
I'm not far gone.
Hey, we're gonna
I'm
be
not
Herbalife for like 10 seconds.
Just saying, man. You know, I don't know what. You know, I'm ready to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? So that's my Friday free for all. Is get everybody. Let's get motivated, man.
What happened is he went to Hawaii. It was like, I can't do this again.
Yeah, man. I'm like, I mean, I wasn't terrible, but it was just like, yeah, I gotta get in shape. I'm tired of like, let's make this happen.
Hey, bro.
See, all you guys are in your 20s and 30s and stuff, so
Hey,
it's like it's not fair.
Travel to make you want to do that, baby. You see, you like, hey, listen,
Bill said he got a home gym for decoration. Hey, it's in the living room too. Like it's up front and center, and it is underutilized. Hey, Joe, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a bad enough friend to tell you that I'm gonna do that with you.
No, I'm just saying I'm putting it out there. So
I'm not a bad enough friend to lie to you and tell you that I'm
Hey, Joe,
well, you start off small. It might be
here we
push-ups.
go. We'll all get together.
No, it might be a push-up challenge. You know what I'm saying? At you know, at least do 25, start off, and it's starting from there. You know, I used to do like 500 crunches back when I was y'all age, and I just got tired and started drinking too much and hanging out. But get back on that. Just it doesn't have to go hard. Like you gotta go hit the ground running, trying to do all those things, but you start off and then building blocks. But you know, it's all good.
Hey, Joe, I tell you what.
Hey, you can't do it with you.
I will do it with you simply because I'm with you. Like at this point, I do not want to be overweight.
V-Dog. Ain't nobody working out with you, Joe.
So at this point,
I say work out with me. I'm just saying it's a challenge.
I'm with the challenge. I'm with the. I actually have a bunch of people at my place of employment. They actually are ultra marathon runners. So there's like 3 people running 18 miles tomorrow. Never gonna do that, by the way. I'm not gonna but I'm not doing that. But it motivated me to get in shape because I was like, these dudes are in pretty good shape. 18 miles.
Yeah. Well, I want to start hooping again. Really, what I want to start hooping again too. So you know, I don't want to be.
You ain't ready.
I'm not that old.
You ain't ready for that. It's okay. It's okay.
No, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Here's what. Oh, look at this. Face.
I'm looking at the kid. That was the kid.
Look at his face.
You ain't ready for that.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what's interesting about all that though, and this was another one of my Friday free for alls. Have y'all ever gone to the Old Heads run?
The who?
The Old Heads run.
No.
Where you actually go run with the Old Heads?
No,
bro. That's one of the greatest things in the world, bro.
Wow.
They not trying to foul you. They not trying to hurt you. Everybody realize you got to get up for work in the morning, bro.
Some guys are terrible.
Hey, listen. Hey, look, it is what it is.
No,
bro.
some guys are hacks.
I'm talking about a backdoor passes. I'm talking about, hey, good shot there, brother. Hey, you'll get them on the next one, my guy. Don't even worry about that. Oh, you got to just cut that back door, baby. I cut back door that mug. I felt like Muggsy Bogues. I caught it. You know what I mean? Oh, the Old Heads run is where it's at, bro. I don't care what it is. I'm 30 years old. It is what it is. I was ready to retire from basketball, but I'll run with the Old Heads.
Jay Crit. Well, see, okay, my thing is, it's not that I got fat out of shape on purpose. I had an injury, and it's like I had to do the boring rehab, and then on top of that, get back to what I used to, at least a semblance of what I could do. So that's the problem. And I got busy. So now, you know.
Shadow Boy said, icy hot on the knees. Bengay everywhere, dog. You walk in that locker room, it smells like straight Bengay.
Stings the nostrils.
Bro, you can breathe walking out of that mug, boy. I'll tell you that. That was hooping with Paw. No, not that old. You know, they probably 35 to 45 years old.
It's not an old head run, dog.
Right, man. That's
That's not an old head run.
Old head is like 50 and up.
45 and up. What are you talking about?
Hey, a straight run. You see, you're not gonna get that at export. A straight run of 35-year-olds?
No, you won't.
You're not getting that at no export. You know why the
35-year-olds
are there? Because they want to hoop with the 45-year-olds. Everybody goes to that run understanding.
You go to LA Fitness, LA Fitness on downtown at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's nothing but older people, professionals that are trying to work and stuff like that.
Oh, no, downtown was great. Well, depending on the time. Like I remember, I used to come down there for lunchtime. It was like, you know, you got in about 5-10 minutes early, just work out, dead up in the gym.
Yeah,
12:01, boom, everybody's out there. You do 3 runs, out, and by 1 o'clock, 1:15, gym dead.
Yeah.
Right back to work. Like I missed that.
Hey man, it is what it is.
What
my,
it is?
my hooping days may be over. I'm on the Burt Kreischer diet the rest of my life. I just want to be in shape enough to keep drinking.
Pat has a photo. Pat has a photo hanging up in his house right now of him and his wife. Beautiful photo. Beautiful photo. I think it's just it's you and your wife. I was like, Dag, I ain't never seen Pat look like that. Hey, Pat, we have to get it straight. We gotta do it. We gotta get back to the marriage weight. When we got married, we got to get back to the marriage weight.
You got to do it. Hey, you got to do. Those are your goals. My goals are to stay in good enough shape.
I just put it out there. Drinking. I just put it out there, and if people by next week want to start,
what's the commitment? What are you committing to?
Just getting back in shape. I can't.
We gotta have
at this point a plan. Okay, all right. I might do. You know what? I'm gonna do let's do a push-up challenge, and it start off 25 a day. All right.
Gucci Finesse said, Pat, you can't let dude flame you like that. He's not flaming. He's not wrong.
I'm not trying to.
He's not wrong. I was probably, when I got married, I was probably 175 pounds, 180 pounds. I'll never be 180 pounds again.
Hey,
I don't even want to be 180
pounds.
I'll
again. Be sure in that photo, dog.
Bro,
not gonna lie. Hey. He looked like prime I'll be sure. I was like, oh, Pat was out here killing people. All right, bet.
Hey.
Like, numbers, AZ. Where'd you play McNabb at? Where'd you play McNabb at?
Could care less. I want to be in good enough shape that my wife still think I look good and I can drink as much as possible.
That's the only problem.
That's all I need.
I went super carb, like I guess it was kind of keto before keto became that. And I remember having one drink after I had lost like 20 pounds, and I dang it fell out off a glass of wine. Like, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah.
Like, I still want to be able to enjoy, just kicking it. But it was like, gee.
And this is the thing. When I be seeing these muds in the gym, like the muds is like 35, 40 years old, and they still doing like full runs, hooping.
Yeah.
Like, the league ain't calling no more, my boy. Stop it. The league,
stop killing their dream.
Your days are done.
Stop killing their dream.
Your days are done, bro. I was calling no more.
I was 32. I was dunking like, oh, there's still a shot.
Yeah, no, the league ain't calling. Yeah. You exactly where you're supposed to be, behind the scenes running cameras. That's where you were destined to be, Joe.
He's a super.
Hey man, one more you dig before we get up out of here, just because it is such big news. LeBron James is 9 points away from 40,000 points.
Yep, there we go. And there you have it, homeboy.
Nobody cares about LeBron.
No, just you don't care about LeBron, Joel. Just any accomplishment LeBron makes that maybe creates another argument versus the Jordan versus LeBron debate. Joel is just like, when is he gonna retire?
That ain't never been no debate. Hey, Jordan ain't never had the most points. Ain't never had most of it. Any of these stats.
He did it in 13 years.
He never had the most points in history at all.
Hey, listen.
Karl Malone had more points than he did.
I don't care about none of that. The disrespect that people are still giving LeBron. LeBron is 39 years old right now.
Dogging people.
What we've seen no player do. Do you know LeBron James is averaging more points than the entire Bulls team? He's 39 years old. There's nobody on the Chicago Bulls right now averaging 25 plus points a game.
I don't think it's that. It's not that with LeBron. It's more about this is, to me, because he got sort of the shortcut stuff early on, playing with some of the best players. It's allowed him to extend.
You just lost 20 live viewers,
right? See. Hey, yep.
Hey,
you want to go there?
I'm with them. I'm of the notion that KG may have been on to something. He on that new juice. I've been saying that for a while. I'm like, there's no way that man was juicing once upon a time, and
I think so.
I believe so. I'm beyond.
Hey, well, look, that's what's funny about it. He accomplished something nobody else has ever done before. He got to be using roids.
B-Dog,
gotta be roiding up, man.
B-Dog, what are you talking about?
How many years ago was Jordan?
We're
in the
not.
league,
That's not the point.
That don't have nothing
B-Dog.
to do with the argument.
That's not the argument. The point was that what Jordan did was in 13 years and what he accomplished. And with LeBron, he's definitely, was it 21? Is this 20 or 20?
21st year.
21st year. I mean, no. Hats off to him for doing it.
Listen, he's 39 years old. We talk about giving up on hooping today.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, no.
He's 39 years old, averaging 25 plus points in the greatest basketball league in the world.
He's the new
and we
Kareem.
sitting here talking about, I just mean, like, come on, dog.
No, but then again, the rules it's so easy now. These jokers, it is what it is.
Jordan has a quote that he didn't play for those the stats. If he made it his focus, he would have had the most points. Like, it wasn't his focus. It wasn't the focus of many players back then. They didn't care how many points they had. They wanted to win championships. So it's no diss to LeBron. It's an accomplishment, stuff like that. But when you make it a comparison, like, come on now, y'all don't know First of all, most people make these comparisons don't really know basketball, which makes it like one of the worst conversations to have. Like, I just don't want to do that.
I like the statement. It's a cool quote. How many years did Michael Jordan lead the NBA in scoring?
10.
I think he cared about scoring. I think he cared a little. 10 of his 13 years, he led the league in scoring. I think he cared a little bit about.
And I think most of those,
but he got burnt out of playing.
He got burnt out. Like, this, it's different careers. I'm not saying like it's one is worse than the other, but I hate that, like, to try and say LeBron is great in Chicago means that, like, Michael Jordan was a scrub. Like, the only way you can compare people in the world now is by their sins, not by their accolades. LeBron James is 39 years old, no matter what scenario you want to do. Because you know what? Because to everything that Jordan accomplished, right? Wilt Chamberlain said, well, they changed all the rules to work against me. So they made all the rules work for you. So the previous generation, yet again, looked at Michael Jordan and was like, well, you know, when I was dominating everyone, they said those stats didn't count.
No, the difference is that Mike, he meant more to the league, the culture, the world. Like, Wilt was cool. They loved Wilt, but the league was dead. I mean, when Larry and Magic did, they revived it, right? But what Mike did was he made it global. So it's the impact of all those things that Mike did with his play.
Yes, but there's no opportunity for Mike to make it global without Wilt doing what he did.
No, of course. Look, you know, I know all about respecting the evolution and the history of the game. As you don't get to these points by disrespecting the guys prior to that. My only issue is that with LeBron, it's like I was rocking with him as he was going through the process of the grind. He went up against the wall trying to challenge against like Boston, and you know he was winning.
Yeah.
But then once you basically disrupt the entire Eastern Conference, the level of competition, made it a little bit more easy for you to get to that path. It's like now you have to question that you did that. With the whole point with Mike was that we watched the guy go from the beginning with a bad team, fight, break through, then he starts to win. So it was appreciating that journey. And I just feel like LeBron shortcutted his journey. And then now when you move forward, it's like, well, you're plucking guys and making it easier for you. But because you've been in the finals 10 times, that makes you must be great, but you only won 4.
Right.
Because you're not developing the true essence of what it means to really be a champion. It's like you got that bubble championship. You got this other one because you had Dwayne Wade with you. And, you know, y'all thought you're going to win 7 or 10 of them, but not 1, not 4, not 5. That's the issue, is just the hard work and the, you know, respect of how to get to the top of the mountain.
You know what this conversation is, dog? This is Caleb Williams all over again.
A little bit. let me ask you this, Joe. Where do you have LeBron all time?
I mean, I think I have to be unbiased. I mean, unbiased to say LeBron, you have to respect the fact that he's like the modern Kareem, right? So, well, you can't just respect Kobe. You got Jordan, you got Magic who won. I would put LeBron maybe in the top 5.
He's automatically top 5 for me.
Number 5.
That's not even a question, but you got him below Kareem and Magic. And
yeah, Kareem. I mean, Kareem won like 6. No. I had to put Magic over that because Magic extended Kareem's career.
Yes, he did.
Because the whole point was that before Kareem couldn't get over the hump And he was MVP. He won a championship in Milwaukee, but he could not win in LA. Yeah. The Lakers somehow get the number 1 pick. Mind you, they had a pretty much stacked squad. They get a number 1 pick with Magic. They get a number 1 pick with James Worthy.
And that's what I was going to say.
So
we can't sit here and fault Bron for stacked squads when Kareem got stacked squads.
No, the difference is that it's more of a collusion deal versus like a GM was smarter than another GM that didn't care. Like Red Auerbach wanted to win. He's going to swindle you and build this team the best he can.
So stacked squads.
Well, Jim Buss built the team. The Pistons built the team. Would you say that that's a stacked squad?
I think that what I'm saying is that Kareem already had the stacked squad, and then they went out and added more to the stacked squad.
Yeah, but it was Magic, not necessarily. I'm putting Magic over that.
So you got LeBron what?
I would put what I say, Jordan. You got to put Kobe 2. I'm gonna put Magic 3. You can't disrespect Bird, and you got.
Oh no,
you going too far down now, dog. I'm sorry. Like,
but if I say Magic,
I don't have him below Magic. There's no way LeBron's below Magic.
I mean, but
LeBron is Magic and Kareem put together. There's no way to me he's below Magic.
I mean, he's a Karl Malone, Magic Karl Malone. I mean, he's top 5.
Let's put it like this. If I could, and you have your favorites, and it's no. I can't say anything about that, right? But is LeBron the best shooting, small forward we've ever seen?
Yes.
So automatically, he's top 5.
And we got Duncan. Like, Duncan doesn't get no love.
But
I get Duncan love, but I think that
KG might have had a point
below Tim Duncan or below LeBron.
So no, LeBron deserves, just based off his longevity. He has won 4 championships.
I mean, listen, my whole point of my
the best point guard, shooting guard, small forward, all the best position need to be top 5.
My top 3 would be MJ, LeBron, and Kobe. LeBron has no shot of being in that top 3 without the 2 championships he wins in Miami. Yes, everything he went through would have been for a better story, but he probably only has 1 championship.
No, I think he wins.
Maybe 2.
He wins. I think maybe he wins 3 in Cleveland.
Nobody was coming to Cleveland.
He wouldn't have gotten Kyrie. He's been there for 20 years. I mean,
but he wouldn't have got Kyrie.
But they ended up. I understand that. I'm just saying that to a point. We don't know if he stayed there. Someone might have came there eventually.
I'm gonna say this, but I've moved Kobe to 6.
And actually, Don Quixote, I was about to say we were forgetting Curry. I've
moved Kobe to 6 for the simple fact that Mike exists. If Mike doesn't exist, Kobe's not the best shooting guards I've ever played. He's just not. He's my favorite. He's my favorite player of all time. He's not the best shooting guard I've ever played.
And my thing with Mike is that the problem is he only did it in 13 years. Imagine if he actually did a full dang near 20.
Right.
What could he have done?
But that's more on Mike though.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, we saw 39-year-old Mike,
and in a lot of he was still putting up 20 though.
He was, yeah.
Well, I bet you if he had a better team, you know what it makes.
Hey, let's not change the story. Why didn't Mike have a better team?
He went to Washington.
No, why didn't Mike have a better team?
You talking about Washington?
Yes.
When he's 39 years old?
Yes.
I don't know, because he still thought he was the man.
No, because Mike was making decisions and he got rid of all the players that could have made the team a better team. All of the young players. He wanted veterans on his team.
I mean, he had Rip Hamilton on his team. He had Jerry Stackhouse, who was young at the time.
They didn't get along. Apparently, didn't
veterans.
He won. He was trying to win.
He wanted to come back to Washington to compete and try. And
he was trying to get him a win. Yeah,
he didn't want them young boys on his team.
Well, it's hard to win.
So, he put himself in that position down in Washington as well.
Yeah. No. Well, he's not. Nobody says a good GM.
What's that?
So LeBron's a better GM. We know that.
No, he not. LeBron done traded. Hey, LeBron hates half the teams he's ever been to. He hates the team he on now.
He picked his teams and won with at least 3 of them. He won with
the team shift so fast.
All the teams and won.
He won with Miami, he won with Cleveland, and he handpicked LA and managed to get one.
So, hey man, let's get up out of here, boys. We appreciate y'all. Look what a LeBron versus Michael debate does.
We went from we lost 100 people just like that.
That's okay. It's 174 people in here on a LeBron versus Michael debate, and we had 18 minutes to the show. Hey man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the super producer Joel Holt and the pettiest man alive, P Kid, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love. Have a fun weekend.